With Rockstar's new mega hit, there's just a lot to take in. And with so much to see and do throughout the game's massive sandbox narrative, we thought we'd point out a few of the best parts of Red Dead Redemption 2 you might not have even known existed. When it comes to Red Dead Redemption 2's user interface, one particular refinement contributes a ton to the game's sense of immersion, but is also really easy to overlook. Thanks to Rockstar's development teams, players can actually disable the game's minimap. This little innovation goes a long way and is so quietly unexpected that other game developers are struck with its brilliance. Grand Theft Auto fans in particular are no strangers to ever-present radars on the heads-up display, and a cluttered screen is generally something we've become accustomed to in modern gaming. Red Dead Redemption 2, on the other hand, encourages a cinematic experience, and the gameplay is arguably all the better for it. Now sure, this sounds nuts. Why would you turn off the minimap? You need the map to get around the game world, right? Well, actually you don't. The game world in Red Dead Redemption 2 has been meticulously created so that it mimics real life. That means you can get around by heading in the correct direction, checking road signs, and looking for landmarks that are all around you. And you'll even get directions from other characters throughout the game. If you're actually paying attention to what's going on, you can get from point A to point B without ever having to ruin the beautiful, deadly landscape with the minimap. After all, real cowboys didn't have a minimap, did they? Similar to games like Dark Souls and Destiny, Red Dead Redemption 2 has found a way to subtly hide a role-playing game experience beneath the surface of its action-adventure game. Various mechanics have been implemented to achieve this meta-game, from more robust weapon and loot systems to a more elaborately decorated and populated world, one that can be explored and customized unlike any Rockstar action game to date. Rockstar North Studio co-president Rob Nelson explained, "There are 1001 ways to make money even outside missions, in an honorable way and less respectable too, to let the player do what he wants. You can kill people to steal their money, but you can also threaten them and extract their currency less violently. To leave the choice to the player is very important for us. It is not good against evil, everything is nuanced." Of course, we play Arthur and he has his own character, but you are given the opportunity to shape his way of behaving a bit. GameSpot also identifies the RPG potential hidden within Red Dead Redemption 2's customization mechanics. Naturally, this aspect of the game and its world seems like it's going to feed nicely into role-playing. Those who want to craft an Arthur Morgan that is wild, dangerous, and feared may want to let his personal hygiene go down the toilet, while the folks that want the slick, clean, fresh-faced outlaw that is respected can spend time and effort maintaining him. One of the most crucial components to Red Dead Redemption 2's underlying role-playing experience, as well as its general sense of believability, is the fact that you can interact with every non-player character in the game, just like in a full-blown RPG like Fallout or Mass Effect. Whether you're caught up in the character drama of the Van der Linde gang, or just scrapping with unnamed locals on the dusty streets, each NPC has their own level of interactivity, and it's up to you as the player to craft the kind of conversations your version of Arthur Morgan will have with the world around him. News of this chatty feature trickled out in the months leading up to the game's release, with No Clip's Danny O'Dwyer taking to Twitter to share the good news. You can talk to every NPC in the game. I spent most of my time with the game doing exactly that, just chatting to them. The line between quest giver and NPC is blurred beyond distinction. It means adventures can spawn from emergent moments or just random people. It's awesome. Furthermore, many NPCs have a reaction to whether you engage in conversation or not. O'Dwyer recounts how he shot a shopkeeper in the torso, accidentally drawing a hold-up, and he got back up holding his wound and ran for help. With such a dynamic system perpetually at work, Red Dead Redemption 2 threatens to emerge as the most realized world Rockstar has created to date. Red Dead Redemption 2 presents one of the most enormous sandboxes in video game history. The publishers themselves call it, quote, "the deepest and most expansive Rockstar world to date." But as much as we love riding the wild frontier and basking in its glories, one of the gripes critics have highlighted is the lack of a comprehensive or apparent fast travel system. Fortunately, there is a fast travel mechanic in Red Dead Redemption 2, despite it being a kind of hidden one, and an interesting exploit for its system. Essentially, an autopilot mode for your horse will actually afford you some of the most beautiful panoramas the game has to offer. You can unlock fast travel by progressing through Chapter 2 of the game's story mode. Although this system is considerably limited, you'll be able to fast travel to locations from camp, but you'll have to take the long way home. Thankfully, you can let your horses take the lead on the ride back to home base by setting your destination and enabling the cinematic camera. Once you've got that squared away, your horse will take over the heavy lifting, and you can just enjoy the view. That said, if there's anything happening on the side of the road that you want to check out, like an NPC asking for help, a creepy old cabin you want to loot for goodies, or a pile of bandits coming to loot you for goodies, it's on you to take over and get to work. Either way, the long way home just got a lot cooler. One of the reasons the original Red Dead Redemption was so memorable was because of the amazing dialogue and voice acting, for both major characters and minor ones, and the prequel, true to Rockstar fashion, is no different. Even though Arthur Morgan and the Van der Linde gang take center stage throughout the course of Red Dead 2's winding narrative, the world around them is just as alive. And part of that lively atmosphere stems from the game's robust cast of supporting characters and background extras, many of whom are performed by some of the best in the business. The background ensemble of Red Dead Redemption 2 is packed full of industry luminaries, with names like Cam Clark, Charlie Adler, Steve Bloom, Stephanie Scher, and Grand Theft Auto veteran Laszlo topping the list of generic local pedestrian population characters. Sure, the bulk of the heavy lifting falls on actor Roger Clark, who gives Arthur Morgan his voice in the game, but the fact that the huge cast of minor characters boasts this many heavyweights from the world of voice acting just makes the rest of the game that much more incredible to interact with. With that much talent packed into your virtual world, why bother ever leaving it for the real one? When it comes to westerns, horses are basically a part of their DNA, so there was never any doubt that Red Dead Redemption 2 would continue the legacy of the original with solid equestrian mechanics. There are 19 different breeds of horse in Red Dead 2, and each breed handles differently with its own set of defined characteristics. Horses can be captured and broken out in the wild, purchased from stables, or stolen, and the system for studying and befriending these noble beasts has received a significant overhaul. As the official Red Dead Redemption 2 website explains, your horse is your constant companion. By keeping it groomed and well fed, you will start to see improvements in stamina, performance, and handling, and it will become less skittish as the bond grows between you. And it all comes true as you play the game. As wonderful as it is to interact with the people who live and die in Red Dead Redemption 2's open world, it's even more incredible how easy it is to become attached to the horses you ride to get around. Sure, you'll have the chance to ride plenty of trusty steeds throughout the game, but as you do, you're probably going to feel more than a little guilty about not giving attention to the one that's kept you safe through battle after battle, gunfight after gunfight. That's because the better you treat your horse, the better your horse will treat you. You might play the game like a low-down dirty desperado, killing anyone who looks at you funny, but if you don't do right by your horse, well, let's just say you should expect them to return the favor in kind, partner.
Hey! Need a hand with your horse?
One of the best parts of Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't actually technically part of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a free but totally official companion app for iOS and Android. The Red Dead Redemption 2 companion connects directly to your PS4 or Xbox One to deliver a real-time interactive map, with pan and zoom functions while you play. As you can imagine, this second screen experience helps with exploration and discovery throughout Red Dead Redemption 2's expansive open world. The companion app also provides your in-game journal, the game manual, a strategy guide, and more. Not only that, but the app lets you look through all the various catalogs you'll find when shopping in stores, meaning you won't have to read all the text off your TV screen anymore. Instead, you can pick up your phone or tablet and flip through the pages just like Arthur does. And if you take our earlier advice and drop the minimap from your television, the app can fill that particular void too. In all, the app is just another way to make you feel like the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is real, and that you're a real part of it too. Red Dead Redemption 2 aims to fully immerse players in the waning days of the American Old West, and it captures this sense of realism with tons of mechanics and gameplay features meant to establish a particular kind of frontier vibe. Looting happens in real time, the protagonist takes hand-scrawled notes about his surroundings, and Rockstar's missions have evolved into immersive, event-based moments. These are just a few of the innovations Red Dead Redemption brings to the table, but one of the more satisfying and easiest to overlook is the distinct lack of text during the game's load screens. Instead of the standard issue on-screen text that's replaced the print manuals of video games past, Players are treated to a slideshow of characters and locations from Red Dead Redemption 2's protracted narrative. This lack of tutorial or hint text during load screens is a stoic step away from contemporary trends popularized over the last few decades by RPGs and shooters alike. It's a move that treats the game like the serious piece of art it is, and makes whatever adventures you go on once the loading screen disappears feel that much more epic as a result. Sure, the game would be just as good even if the loading screens had tips and tricks to help you maximize your horsing around skills, but the fact that Rockstar cared this much to make sure that every moment of Red Dead Redemption 2 had the right mood, right down to the loading screens, makes this one ride everyone should take.